What if I told you that your daily pencil chaos could be completely eliminated with just toothbrush holders and a simple numbering system? Sound too simple to actually work? Hi there. I'm thrilled you're here because by the end of this episode, you're going to discover how one veteran teacher transformed her pencil nightmare into a self managing system that builds student responsibility. Here's what completely shifted my perspective. What if the problem isn't students being careless? Instead, it's that community systems don't create autonomy and ownership. While most teachers battle that endless cycle of scattered pencils and empty sharp pencil cups, Mrs. Wheeler discovered that individual accountability changes everything. Here's what you'll walk away with: the numbered pencil system, how toothbrush holders and individual ownership eliminate floor crawling forever, the brilliant backup method, why having duplicate sets means instruction never stops for pencil management, and the positive reinforcement twist, how weekly check ins builds responsibility without punishment. If you've ever found yourself picking up pencils like confetti after a party, or watched your sharp pencil supply mysteriously vanish by 10 a.m., this episode will feel like someone just handed you the key to pencil peace. Let's dive in. This is Solutions Teaching Strategies, the podcast that extends education beyond the classroom. A show that isn't just theory, but practical, try it tomorrow approaches for educators and caregivers to ensure every student finds their spark and receives the support they need to thrive. Welcome back to Solutions Teaching Strategies Summer Series. I'm your host, Olivia Wall, and today we're diving into something that might sound simple, but drives many of us absolutely crazy: pencil management. If you've ever found yourself crawling around your classroom floor, picking up rogue pencils, or watched your sharp pencil cup mysteriously empty by 10 a.m., this episode's for you. We're going to explore a game-changing system that I learned about from a veteran teacher. She developed this when her traditional methods stopped working. I'll walk you through exactly how to implement it over the summer so you're ready to roll in September. And just saying thank goodness for Mrs. Wheeler. I'm calling this first segment When Good Systems Go Bad. Here we go. So let's start with a story that probably sounds familiar. Mrs. Wheeler had been using the classic sharp pencil, dull pencil system for her entire teaching career. You know the one. I used it too. Students get one pencil, use it until it's dull, and then swap it for a sharp one from the community cup. Seems simple, seems effective, and it did work beautifully for years. But then something changed. About 2 years ago, Mrs. Wheeler started finding pencils everywhere. Not just a few here and there, but pencils scattered across her classroom floor like confetti after a party. What used to be a minor inconvenience became a daily struggle. Just bending over to pick every single pencil up became ridiculous and genuinely difficult. So, this is where many of us find ourselves. A system that worked for years suddenly doesn't. And we're left wondering what changed. Sometimes it is the students, sometimes it's us, and sometimes it's just time for an evolution in our classroom management. Mrs. Wheeler's solution was brilliant in its simplicity. Put students in charge of their own pencils through individual accountability. Here's exactly what she did and what you could replicate this summer. Materials you'll need, and I'll tuck this into the show notes. I'll also put a link to the entry where Mrs. Wheeler explains all of this. Toothbrush holders, 2 per student. Fresh pencils, 10 per student. Dot labels, black Sharpie marker, packaging tape, and a simple tracking chart. Let's begin with the setup process. First, Mrs. Wheeler numbered toothbrush holders in pairs. So if you're expecting 24 students, you'd label holders 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on up to 24. Why two sets, you may be wondering? We'll get to that brilliant part in a moment. Next comes the semi-tedious but crucial step, labeling pencils. Each student gets 10 pencils total with their number on them. 5 pencils go in one toothbrush holder, 5 in the matching holder. She recommends using that packaging tape over the labels. Trust me, it's going to make them last so much longer. And here's how it works in practice. Each student receives one toothbrush holder containing 5 numbered pencils. One pencil stays on top of their desk for immediate access, while the other 4 stay in the holder inside their desk. When their desktop pencil gets dull, breaks, or goes missing, they simply grab another from their personal stash. Here's the genius part. Every Friday, students bring their toothbrush holders to the teacher. She swaps them out with the backup holders. Remember the duplicates? While students are working with their fresh set, she can quickly check the returned holders and see who has all 5 pencils, regardless of their condition. And I want to make sure I'm framing this because it's not about punishment. This is positive reinforcement. It's about building responsibility because students who return all 5 pencils earn a sticker on their pencil chart. After accumulating a certain number of stickers, they can choose from a treasure box or candy selection. The beauty of this system is that it acknowledges reality. Pencils break, pencils get lost. That's not necessarily irresponsible behavior, but consistently keeping track of your materials, that's a life skill worth rewarding. I also love that Mrs. Wheeler builds in a community element. If a student finds a pencil on the floor, they're encouraged to check the number and return it to its owner. This transforms the classroom into a community where we help each other succeed, rather than a place where lost items just disappear. Now let's talk about how to get this set up over the summer so you're ready for September. I always recommend tackling new strategies in phases. Here's phase 1. Gather and organize in July. Start collecting your materials. Toothbrush holders are often cheaper in bulk online, and you might find them even at dollar stores. Buy pencils during back-to-school sales. You'll need quite a few, but they'll last much longer than in a community system. Phase 2. Setup weekend in August. Choose a weekend in August for your setup marathon. Put on a good podcast or a good movie and settle in for some therapeutic labeling. Label your toothbrush holders first, then tackle the pencils. I like to work in batches, do all the ones, then all the twos, and so on. Phase 3, classroom integration in late August. Set up your pencil chart and decide on your reward system. Consider what motivates your grade level. Stickers may work for younger students, while older students might prefer class privileges or homework passes. And obviously, you'll probably need to troubleshoot and adapt. You can definitely adapt the system for different grades. Younger students might need larger labels or different containers. Older students might appreciate more sophisticated tracking methods or even different rewards. Here's why this works, though. There is psychology behind it. This system succeeds because it addresses several psychological principles. First, individual ownership creates natural investment. It's much harder to be careless with something that's specifically yours. Second, the positive reinforcement model builds intrinsic motivation over time. Students aren't just avoiding punishment, they're working toward rewards. And the weekly check-in provides regular feedback without being overwhelming. The backup holder system means instruction never stops for pencil management or sharpening. It's sustainable for teachers and empowering for students. As we wrap up, remember that the best classroom management systems are the ones you'll actually use consistently. Mrs. Wheeler's pencil system works because it's simple enough to maintain, but comprehensive enough to create real change. If you decide to try this system, start gathering materials now and give yourself plenty of time for setup. Remember, as I've said in each of these tip episodes, the goal isn't perfection. It's progress towards more responsible, independent learners. Our next summer series tip episode focuses on building community connections to set you up for success in the fall. Until then, happy summer planning. And remember, small systems can create big changes in your classroom culture. Thank you for listening, and if this episode helped you, please share it with a colleague who might benefit. We're all in this together, one pencil at a time. Take care. Scholutions Teaching Strategies is created, produced, and edited by me, Olivia Wall. Thank you to my older son, Benjamin, who created the music playing in the background. You can follow and listen to Scholutions wherever you get your podcasts, or subscribe to never miss an episode and watch on YouTube. Now I'd love to hear from you. Send me an email at scholutionspodcast@gmail.com. Let me know what your action plan is to get your materials organized and ready to go for September. Give me your best tips and strategies. Tune in every Monday and Friday this summer for mini episodes filled with tips and ideas that will help you prepare for September while still resting and rejuvenating this summer. See you soon for another tip, and until then, enjoy the sunshine and take care.